Hello friends, welcome here at TNV Academy. In this session, we will understand the requirements of clause 5.2.2 Communicating the Quality Policy. In this clause, we will cover the requirements of the clause 5.2.2 of the ISO 9001-2015, that is, Communicating the Quality Policy. Here is the reference clause within the standards, which can be useful for this chapter. In this requirement of the clause 5.2.2, depend upon the requirements of clause 3, terms and definition that are useful in the clause 5.2.2. In this clause, there are mandatory requirements that quality policy need to be available as documented information in the organization. It may be in the quality policy manual annexure or separate policy document. Now, we will talk about what external reference standard and document we can use for the study of this chapter: ISO 9000, ISO 19011-2018. Requirements of ISO 17021-1 can be useful material to understand this chapter. Now, we will understand the outcome of this chapter. This chapter enables the auditor to understand and verify the implementation of the requirement of clause 5.2.2 of the ISO 9001-2015. Participant can learn how quality policy can be communicated and audited. Now, we will understand requirement of clause as per standard requirement. Here is the standard requirement of clause 5.2.2. The quality policy shall A. हाँ तो policy ही बोला था, ठीक है. The quality policy shall A. Be available and be maintained as documented information. B. Be communicated, understood and applied within the organization. C. Be available to relevant interested parties as appropriate. Now, we will understand what this chapter requirement says. The quality policy of the organization shall be available as documented information, refer to clause 7.5.1a. It should be in quality policy manual and annexure or separate documents. The quality policy need to be communicated, understood and implemented in the organization. The manner in which the policy is made publicly. Below are some examples of modes and we have seen in several companies used when disclosing and raising awareness about the policy. Banner at the entrance of organization, on the wallpaper of company, cell phones and computers, on the company website, on company social media portal or through the letterheads. The auditor during certification audit will ask policy to any of the employees of the organization to verify that each employee of the organization are understood properly. The management has to review their quality policy as fixed time interval. The policy need to available and understood to all the relevant external parties such as suppliers, vendors and customers. Organization conduct meeting and seminars to understand the quality policy to internal and external interested parties. Now, we will talk what mandatory documents and records company have to prepare in this subclause or chapter. Organization has to communicate their quality policy to each of their internal and external interested parties. It may be displayed at website and notice boards. Let's take an example. How to write non-conformities against subclause 5.2.2 of ISO 9001-2015. Here is the clause standard requirement. Clause 5.2.2 clearly says that the quality policy shall A. Be available and be maintained as documented information. B. Be communicated, understood and applied within the organization. C. Be available to relevant interested parties as appropriate. Non-conformity evidence. During the Stage 2 audit of ABC Private Limited, Clause 5.2.2, it has found that quality policy is not available publicly in the organization and few workers in the kitchen like Mr. Ravi and Dheeraj are not aware of the quality policy. Minor NC. During the Stage 2 audit, check the aspect and impact register AIR/01. River 00, issue 1. It was found that noise factor during the construction process does not consider while developing this document. Now, Here, we will talk about the common mistakes which auditor do while auditing clause 5.2.2. Auditor may miss to check the awareness of external interested parties for quality policy and commitments. Auditor starts expecting document and records in clause where this may not be mandatory. Sometimes, auditor miss to check how company aware the external interested parties for quality policy. Sometimes, auditor puts questions which are irrelevant for the organization context. Auditors start consulting. Dear friends, we have now come to the conclusion of this training session. See you soon with an exciting new topic. Till then, goodbye.